KILR Killer Game.
Hello, gamers, simmers, and pilots. I am the Killer Gamer, and welcome back to the tour around the world, somewhat, featuring not Microsoft, Sierra propilot. Okay, so we are here in Peoria, Illinois. We have changed planes back over to the Cessna because, oh my goodness, the Baron that we were flying in the last one had some issues with fuel, apparently. Even though we refueled it midway through flight because I had forgot to fill it up when we're at the airport, it still ran out of fuel. And even when filling it back up, it was like half of the fuel was gone by the time we landed. And yeah, there was just something really off about that. So it's not very fun flying a plane when it doesn't really work the way that it should. You know what I mean? Just kind of a shame because I was enjoying it at first. And then, yeah, then it just had problems. So, but let's have some, what in the... Look at this. I'm not clicking on it, but it's moving. Okay, now it's not. Like, that is weird. Okay. Man, Sierra, what did you do here? You have an interesting program, I gotta say. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about our next leg of the flight. Okay, so we're right here at Greater Peoria. And we're going to be flying over here to Moline, or the Quad City Airport, which is right here. So when we set up our flight plan, I'm pretty sure it's going to have us go to Galesburg and then the Quad City. So we've got our, we'll use our frequency so we know how far away everything is at. This is 109.8, 114.4. And we should be able to see the river, the Illinois River and Peoria Lake, after we take off. We'll fly around and we'll make sure that we can actually see that scenery. Now keep in mind that this map is not a propilot map. This is a SubLogic scenery disk map for flight simulators 2, 3, and 4. We're just using this for reference because that's what we used on those. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and do our planning here. So we'll go ahead and create a flight plan. We'll make it IFR. We are sticking with that 172 Skyhawk. Again, it doesn't seem to matter what we put in here in the cruise settings. It takes us up to 7,000 feet for some odd reason. I have no idea. So it's like it doesn't matter what we put here, but I'm still going to put 3,000. I don't know. All right, so where are we going from? It's going to be Peoria, PIA, and Moline, MLI, Quad, Moline, Illinois. And there we go. That's direct. But we're going to go ahead and put in Galesburg, which is right here. GBG. The heebie-jeebies. So, yeah. We'll just click on this little flag here. Click right there. Right there. Nope, maybe not. Okay. There we go. Well, now it worked. There's our flight. And this is pretty much the same flight that we did on The other simulators, we kind of flew over here and then flew up to Quad City. And this is the Mississippi River also. So hopefully we'll see that. I'm assuming we will, since it's showing it here on the simulator, but hopefully we'll see it in the scenery also. It'll be interesting to see how it all looks. Alright, we got broken clouds. That's the one thing that I hate about this, is that no matter what you do, it's always giving you clouds of some sort. Alright, and it's moved us over. We're going to go ahead and we're going to change all this here. We're going to do 2/8 worth of coverage here, maybe a 1/8 there. So let's try that. That seems like a lot of clouds, though, from down here. Let's change this again. Let's make clear there. Let's make 1/8 there. Well, that didn't seem like it made any difference. Alright, what about winds? Gusting to 0 to 2. Ah, okay. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of these winds here. All right. I think that works. All right, so let's go ahead and turn everything on. We got to turn our fuel. Now you can click this, or you can hit the F key, and that will move it over here to the center. And then numbers 2, 3, 4 will activate all of your lights here. So the number 2, whoop, that's your strobe light. 3 is beacon, 4 is nav, 5 is taxi, 6 is landing gear. We'll go ahead and click this for the, I don't know the keyboard shortcut. I can look it up, but you know. And then S will turn the magnetos to start. And we'll turn on the AV power.
Flight information Oscar 1434 Zulu weather, temperature 5 niner, 2.55, wind calm, altimeter 2 niner, 0, landing and departing runway 4, departures contact ground on 121.6, arrivals contact approach on 119.95, advise controller on initial contact you have information Oscar.
Delivery. This
there he
is
goes.
Cessna 9572 Lima with information Oscar. Request clearance to Mike, Lima, India.
Cessna 9572 Lima, clear to Mike, Lima, India, via radar vectors to Golf, Bravo, Golf. Direct Mike, Lima, India, climb and maintain 4,000, expect 4,000, 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 119.95, squawk 1663.
Climb and maintain 4,000. Squawk 1663. Cessna 72 Lima.
Well, they said 4,000, or did I set it? I said it for 3, I thought, but that's okay. I can live with 4,000.
Ground Cessna 9572 Lima. Request taxi for takeoff.
Cessna 9572 Lima, taxi to runway 4. Hold short of the active.
Taxi to runway 4 and hold short. Cessna 72 Lima.
Okay, it should not move us. Yeah. So we on the last episode we turned off the
Cessna 72 Lima, contact tower on 119.1. Okay.
we turned off the
19.1.
option that will move you right to the runway. That way we could have a little bit of immersion here.
Tower at Cessna 9572 Lima, holding short of 4.
Cessna 9572 Lima, taxi in position and hold runway 4.
Position and hold. Runway 4, Cessna 72 Lima.
Cessna 85 Kilo, clear to turn left base toward 4.
Cessna 85 Kilo.
Cessna 72 Lima, you're cleared for takeoff, runway 4.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 4, Cessna 72 Lima.
Cessna 72 Lima, expedite takeoff, please.
Roger, Cessna 72 Lima.
We are working on it. Rotate.
60 knots.
Do we have hills here?
70 knots.
Oh yeah, it looks like we have some hills.
Cessna
Yeah.
72 Lima, fly heading 040.
Fly heading 040, Cessna 72 Lima.
We're going to take a look and see if we can see the Illinois River and Peoria Lake, and as a matter of fact, I think that's it over there.
Cessna 72 Lima, turn left heading 020.
Turn left heading 020, Cessna 72 Lima.
Mooney 61 Echo, cleared to turn left base, forward 4. Mooney 61 Echo. Cessna 85 Kilo, you're cleared for the touch and go, runway 4. Cessna? Cessna 72 Lima, turn left heading 340.
Turn left heading 340, Cessna 72 Lima.
Cessna 72 Lima, turn right heading 350.
Turn right heading 350, Cessna 72 Lima.
Okay, so the Illinois River and Peoria Lake were over there, so that's good. Glad that we're seeing that.
Mooney 61 Echo, you're cleared for the touch and go, runway 4. Mooney 61 Echo. Cessna 85 Kilo, fly runway heading and continue your
Yeah,
climb.
look at that.
Cessna 85 Kilo.
This is the city of Peoria.
Cessna 72 Lima, contact departure on 119.95. Good day.
Contact departure 119.95, Cessna 72 Lima. Good day. Departure Cessna 9572 Lima.
Cessna 90572 Lima, radar contact, proceed direct to Golf, Bravo, Golf.
Cessna 72 Lima.
Cessna 72 Lima, climb and maintain 6,000.
Climb and maintain 6,000, Cessna 72 Lima.
Now, so they're wanting us to go to 6,000 now. Well, 109.8 is Galesburg. I tuned it in, but we're not getting any distance or anything here.
Cessna 72 Lima, turn left heading 290.
Turn left, heading 290, Cessna 72 Lima.
Alright. Where's it going? I have no idea. You know, I just realized something. I didn't fill this up when we left, but when we did the set the flight plan up and it placed the airplane, I think it automatically topped the tanks off. So in the last episode, I think it did the same thing on that Baron. And it just ran out of, like, nearly ran out of fuel, like, not even halfway through the flight. We'll have to test out ProPilot USA, which is kind of like a patched up version of ProPilot, and see if that plane does the same thing on there. At the time of this recording, I'm doing a group batch of recordings of just ProPilot. And then once I get those edited and scheduled out, then I'll be working on the ProPilot USA and ProPilot 99. Is that the airport? Look at the sun. The way that's just kind of rising up like that, that's just kind of weird looking. I'm going to set up Quad City, which is 114.4. Or, well, it's Moline, 114.4. I don't think we're close enough for that one. Alright, we discovered this the last time. We can click things and let's see. Waypoint ID, show vector routes or obstacles. Yeah, we're going to turn that one off. Near information, info.
Cessna 72 Lima, contact center on 121.8. Good day.
Contact center 121.8, Cessna 72 Lima.
Okay, so here we go.
Center, Cessna 905.
We got 29 miles to go.
Cessna 9572 Lima. Proceed direct to Golf Bravo Golf.
Cessna 90572 Lima.
And for some reason, I can't seem to move this. That's interesting. I thought I'd be able to scroll this or something, but it doesn't appear to want to do that. I do not know how this thing... You have to like click this in a combination of different ways to get the functions that you want. These intersection things are like all over the place. I want to get rid of that too. Okay. Let's get rid of the intersections. We don't need those. We'll keep the airports. NDBs, we'll keep those. I don't even know how to get out of this thing again. There we go. Well, this is where we're going, right up here. Oh, it looks like it finally tuned in. That's weird. The VORs in this simulator, they're not as far-reaching as like Microsoft Flight Simulator. Like you can get them tuned in like 60 or 70 miles out. Here, it seems like it doesn't tune in unless you're like 25, 26 miles from it. It's just kind of weird. Alright, so we're up here at 6,000 feet. That's where they said they wanted us to be. Try to get us leveled off here. It still wants to go up. Oh man, this thing is annoying. I gotta say, from the transition from night to dawn to day, it's not as impressive. I've been fiddling around with the clock and trying to cycle through times, and it doesn't do an overall good job. It's got us heading directly there now. Here's Moline, right over here. KMLI. We can probably, I don't know, we can probably take those NDBs. No, those are VORs, sorry. These are airports. What are the green ones? I'm not sure. Let's see, waypoint type. Well, let's see, let's turn that off there. It's like click, 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 until I can try to find out where in the world. Oh no, I'm back to that thing again. Okay, there we go. Alright, so those green things were NDBs. Now we just got airports and VORs. This is a lot easier to read compared to what we had before. We got all of our frequency information right here as far as communications, so that's something. And that's the F8 key. And it looks like this is it up here. 16 miles away. This looks like Galesburg up here. There we go. We got a better look at it now. All right. We're gonna go ahead and do some more reading. Angle of attack. Angle of attack is the angle between the relative wind and the chord line of the airfoil. This is not to be confused with the angle of incidence, which is the fixed angle between the wing chord line and the reference line of the fuselage. So, I'll show you figure 3. This is the angle of attack, angle of incidence, and chord line and fuselage reference line. Right there. Angle of attack is controlled by the elevators. The escalators, no. By easing back on the yoke, the elevators are raised. The force of the relative wind pushes the tail down and the nose up, so the wings are rotated to a new angle of attack. As this new angle, the apparent curvature of the airfoil is greater, and for a short period, lift is increased. However, a higher angle of attack also produces greater drag. More on drag coming up. It's drag, man. So the plane slows and equilibrium is once again attained, even though the plane could continue to climb. The beginning pilot may believe that the reason an airplane climbs is because of an increased angle of attack. However, as angle of attack is increased, the plane slows because of increased drag at low airspeed and at a higher angle of attack. So the pilot continues to increase the angle of attack until it becomes so great that the air can no longer pass smoothly over the airfoil and the airplane decides to attack the pilot. This results in a stall. Are you listening? which is the complete separation of airflow over the top of the wing, and all lift is lost, as well as all hope is lost. And then the pilot is lost because the airplane attacked him. In an airplane stall, which holds the airplane, just like a stall holds a horse, the engine may be humming right along, but the lift has broken down so that the wing will have to take the elevator and the pilot the escalator, since they're no longer doing its job of supporting the airplane. For the airplane to recover from the stall, the angle of attack must be decreased and the airflow established to restore lift. For most light airplanes, the stalling angle of attack is 15 degrees. We got another figure to show you. Yeah, right there. I'm trying to get it nice and straight so you can see it. But you all know this, right? Angle of attack. Air density. You are my density. Also affects lift. This is discussed to some extent in the section on dead reckoning, which is on page 88. Air density decreases with increased altitude and or temperature. Airplanes require more runway to take off on hot days and or at airports of higher elevation because of decreased air density. Not only is the lift of the wing affected, but the less dense air results in less power being developed within the engine, because the propeller is nothing more than a rotating airfoil. It also loses lift, or more properly, thrust. Lift remains at an almost constant value during climbs, glides, and straight and level flight at a given airspeed. Ah, look at that, good timing. That is the Galesburg Airport right there ahead of us. And we've been maintaining our pretty much our altitude too, so that's good. Should be getting some instructions here soon.
Cessna 72 Lima, descend and maintain 6,000.
Descend and maintain 6,000. Cessna 72 Lima.
Guess we're not quite over it yet.
Cessna 72 Lima, descend and maintain 6,000.
Descend and maintain 6,000. Cessna 72 Lima.
So apparently we have to turn off, oh, well, that would make sense. So even though I turned altitude off here, I've got to turn off the whole autopilot too in order to adjust. Our altitude. And then I'll just turn it back on here.
Cessna 72 Lima. Fly heading 280.
Fly heading 280, Cessna 72 Lima.
It's not the right direction, yo.
Cessna 72 Lima. Proceed direct to Mike Lima, India.
Cessna 72 Lima.
Huh. Do we not have our flight line to it? That's interesting. Okay, well, let's go ahead and tune this to 114.4.
Cessna 72 Lima. Turn right heading 360.
Turn right heading 360, Cessna 72 Lima.
Cessna 72 Lima. Descend and maintain 5,000.
Descend and maintain 5,000, Cessna 72 Lima.
Okay, so we got 24 miles to go until we get to Moline. We can do a little bit more reading here. Thrust. Thrust is furnished by a propeller or jet. Newton's law states that for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. The propeller or jet takes a large mass of air and accelerates it toward the rear of the plane. The equal and opposite reaction is the plane moving forward. There is also the theory that because a propeller is made of two airfoils, the plane is pulled by the low pressure of the prop, not by an opposing reaction. However, we'll leave that argument for another manual. Another one that's like 300 pages long. Horsepower defined. Thrust is a force and is measured in terms of pounds, just like the other three forces, lift, weight, and drag. A force is defined as a tension, weight, or pressure. A force can be exerted on an object without the object moving. However, if it does move, then work has been created. Work, in engineering terms, is force times distance. If you lift your 20-pound computer 10 feet off the floor, you've done 200 foot-pounds of work. If you lift a 200-pound computer 1 foot off the floor, you've done the same amount of work. However, you take all day or 1 second to do it. However, if you do take all day, you won't be generating as much power. The power used in lifting your 20-pound computer 10 feet in 1 second is expressed as power equals 200 foot minus pounds per second. The most common measurement for power is horsepower. 1 horsepower is equal to 550 foot-pounds per second, or 33,000 foot-pounds per minute. This gives you a whole new appreciation of horses, doesn't it? It really does say that. I know some of the other stuff I've been reading was not quite in there, but yeah, this one is. Okay, the airplane engine develops horsepower in its cylinders and by rotating the propeller exerts thrust. In straight and level flight, the thrust equals the drag of the airplane. For light trainers with fixed pitch propellers. The measure of power being used is indicated on the plane's tachometer, or tachometer, and RPMs, revolutions per minute. The engine power is controlled by the throttle. For more power, the throttle is pushed forward or opened. For less power, it is moved back or closed. You'll use the throttle to establish certain RPM settings for cruise, climb, and other flight requirements. All right. So after that is torque, and then slipstream, and a bunch of other things. Yeah, so we're going to become pros at propilot, because we'll be reading through this manual.
72 Lima. Climb and maintain 5,000.
Climb and maintain 5,000. Cessna 72 Lima.
Yeah, so as we fly to the various airports, we will be learning all about propilot. We're going to be pros at propilot.
Cessna 72 Lima. Climb and maintain 5,000.
Climb and maintain 5,000. Cessna 72 Lima.
Whoops. I forgot to turn the autopilot on. Okay, so the airport should be off in this direction. Should be off in that direction there somewhere. I think I do see the city of Moline, though. I think this is it up here. You tend to appreciate Flight Simulators 98 and 2000 because at least they had a variety of textures, where this was just kind of like bleh. It's like the same texture. Well, at least in this area. Maybe it changes when we go to different areas. Alright, so we're 12 miles from the airport. And it's going to be right over here, pretty much. It's going to be off in this direction. Now you notice how we haven't had a problem with fuel this time? So the fuel's not even like halfway down. Look at that. Yeah, I don't know what happened on the last flight. That was just weird. I'd like to be able to fly the plane, but if it's going to be doing that, where it's just you wind up losing your fuel, that's just not fun.
Cessna 72 Lima, fly heading 350.
Fly heading 350, Cessna 72 Lima.
Cessna 72 Lima, climb and maintain 6,000.
Climb and maintain 6,000, Cessna 72 Lima.
6,000. What happened to 5,000? Hey, you're getting closer to the airport, but let's have you climb instead. You know, because, hey, that makes sense. What if the airport's over here? I don't know. Alright, so we got the city of Moline. And as far as the Mississippi River, and I forget what the other river is. Let's see if I can find that other river. You'd think I'd remember it now, but all the times that I've been flying this area.
Cessna 72 Lima, contact approach on 118.2.
Flight information, Papa.
Contact approach
118.2. Weather,
118.2.
temperature
Cessna
5,
72 Lima. Good day.
2.55. Wind calm, altimeter 2990. Landing and departing runway 9er. Departures contact.
There it is, right in front of us.
1.9er. Arrivals contact approach on 118.2. Advise controller on initial contact. You have information, Papa.
Approach Cessna 9er 572 Lima, inbound for landing with Papa.
Cessna 9er 572 Lima. Expect vectors for approach runway 9er. Squawk 5406.
Expect vectors for 9er Squawk 5406, Cessna 72 Lima.
Cessna 72 Lima, descend and maintain 4,000.
Descend and maintain 4,000, Cessna 72 Lima.
Alright.
Cessna 72 Lima, turn right heading 080.
Turn right heading 080, Cessna 72 Lima.
So I'm dropping our flaps, and we're going up. I don't want to go up. We want to go to 080, so come on. I think I saw the Mississippi River out in the distance.
Cessna 72 Lima, turn right heading 090.
Turn right, heading 090, Cessna 72 Lima.
Cessna 72 Lima, fly heading 100.
Fly heading 100, Cessna 72 Lima.
Our lovely sun. So this came out in 90. Okay, so yeah, this was 98. So this was competing with Flight Simulator 98. You know, granted, hey, you have flight planning
Cessna
and
72 Lima, turn left heading 010.
Turn left, heading 010, Cessna 72 Lima.
you have the flight planning, and you also have the ATC. So that's kind of nice, because Flight Simulator 98 did not have that by default. You had to get ProFlight 98. And then use it to generate an adventure that would control all of your ATCs and voices and stuff.
Cessna 72 Lima, turn left heading 350.
Turn left, heading 350, Cessna 72 Lima.
You can fly around the world with Flight Simulator 98. You can't do that here. You're also stuck to just general aviation on this, and there's no way to add aircraft. Whereas, well, with Flight Simulator 98, you could. You can fly airlines, and you can even add custom ones. So not quite sure what market Sierra was going for. I mean, I'm thinking that they were trying to go for market towards, you know, would-be pilots and pilots. But man, it's hard to be able to knock Microsoft Flight Simulator off the throne. And X-Plane was pretty much getting to the point where it was doing that. But FSX went into prepared P3D, which holds pretty well up against X-Plane, because they're both good for different reasons. But then Flight Simulator 2020, it's just like that's like the ace. That's like having 4 aces in your hand, or something, you know, playing poker, and you have a, well, what is it? 4? No, wait a minute. 4 of a kind. What's the top? What's the highest one? A royal flush? I think it was a royal flush, like the highest hand you can have in poker. I forget. I don't play poker, so there you go.
Cessna
Cessna 72 Lima.
Put down our last thing of flaps. That looks like a river or a lake or something right there. This should be interesting with how I've been flying the other simulators and seeing how they are in these areas. It'll be interesting to see how it looks with propilot.
Cessna 72 Lima, fly heading 360.
Fly heading 360, Cessna 72 Lima.
Cessna 72 Lima, descend and maintain 3,000.
Descend and maintain 3,000, Cessna 72 Lima.
The graphics are kind of a little blocky. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Oh, there's the airport. Yeah, so that right there, that water, I'm guessing is the Rock River. Even though it's not much of a river. I guess a little bit it is.
Cessna 72 Lima, contact tower on 119.4. Good day.
Ah, okay. As we get closer, it's beginning to show. Actually, I think this is the Mississippi River right here.
Tower at Cessna 90572 Lima.
Cessna 90572 Lima, continue approach. Left downwind for 9er. We'll call base.
Learjet 53 Foxtrot.
Cessna 72 Lima, fly heading 010.
Fly heading 010, Cessna 72 Lima.
Cessna 72 Lima, turn left heading 280.
Turn left heading 280, Cessna 72 Lima.
Cessna 72 Lima, climb and maintain 4,000.
Climb and maintain 4,000, Cessna 72 Lima.
They had us at 3,000, I thought.
Kilo, continue left downwind for Niner, will call base. Learjet 53 Foxtrot, continue left downwind for Niner, will call base.
Learjet 53 Foxtrot.
Got some towers or something. Right there.
Cessna 72 Lima, fly heading 270.
Fly heading 270, Cessna 72 Lima.
Cessna 85 Kilo, continue left downwind for Niner, will call base. Cessna 72 Lima, enter left downwind for Niner.
Enter left downwind for Niner, Cessna 72 Lima.
There's the
Cessna
airport.
72 Lima, turn left heading 220.
Turn left heading 220, Cessna 72 Lima.
So this here, I believe, is the Rock River, because the Rock River is next to the airport, or close to the airport.
Learjet 53 Foxtrot, clear to turn left base for Niner.
Learjet 53 Foxtrot.
Looks like storm clouds have appeared.
Cessna 72 Lima, fly heading 210.
Fly heading 210, Cessna 72 Lima.
Cessna 72 Lima, descend and maintain 1600.
Ascend and maintain 1600, Cessna 72 Lima.
Cessna 85 Kilo, clear to turn left base for Niner.
Okay. The runway that we're going to be landing on is this one right here. I don't know if there's any other airports designed like this one, but I find this one interesting because it's got 3 runways and they all intersect in the middle.
Learjet 53 Foxtrot, cleared for the touch and go runway Niner.
Learjet 53 Foxtrot.
Cessna 72 Lima, continue left downwind for Niner, will call base.
Continue left downwind for Niner, Cessna 72 Lima.
Cessna 72 Lima, turn right heading 260.
Turn right heading 260, Cessna 72 Lima.
Alright.
Cessna 72 Lima, turn right heading 270.
Turn right heading 270, 70 Cessna 72 Lima.
Yeah, see, I think this is the Rock River, and then out here is the Mississippi, and it comes out and then comes back around. So it's kind of interesting. But it's cool. It's cool to actually see this in this one, because I think some of the other simulators, like Fly 2,
cleared for the touch and go runway 9er.
and even early versions of X-Plane, I don't think are going to have this scenery. I don't know. I'll find out when I actually get to them. You know what I like about following the same flight plans as all the other simulators is when I actually get to a certain part where I know I've flown before, and one of the other simulators, it kind of like brings back a memory. It's like, oh yeah, I remember when I was flying in this area before, and it's kind of neat to see it this way now.
Cessna 72 Lima, fly heading 260.
Fly heading 260 Cessna 72 Lima.
Learjet 53 Foxtrot, fly runway heading and continue climb.
Learjet 53 Foxtrot.
Cessna 72 Lima, clear to turn left base for 9er.
Clear left base for 9er Cessna 72 Lima.
All right.
Cessna 72 Lima, turn left heading 180.
Turn left heading 180 Cessna 72 Lima.
Cessna 85 Kilo, fly runway heading and continue climb.
They're getting us ready here. You can see it right over there.
Cessna 72 Lima, turn left heading 100.
Turn left heading 100 Cessna 72 Lima.
And there it is.
Cessna 72 Lima, cleared for ILS approach runway 9er.
Cessna 72 Lima.
You don't normally route a plane this close to the runway for an ILS approach, but yeah, you know, whatever.
Learjet 53 Foxtrot, continue left downwind for 9er. We'll call base.
Learjet 53 Foxtrot.
Yes, call your base. Let them know that everything is good.
Cessna 85 Kilo, continue left downwind for Niner, will call base. Learjet 53 Foxtrot, continue left downwind for Niner, will call base.
Learjet 53 Foxtrot.
Cessna 72 Lima, turn at any intersection and contact ground on 121.9er. G'day.
Contact ground 121.9 Cessna 72 Lima. Good day.
There's not really an intersection, so I guess we'll just turn at the intersection of an actual runway.
Ground Cessna 9er 572 Lima.
Cessna 72 Lima, taxi to the ramp. Good day.
Taxi to the ramp. Good day. Cessna 72 Lima.
So is there a tower? Oh, there's a tower over there. All right. That'll be our new thing. We will go park by the tower. Everything's at an angle here. Almost looks like we're trying to be lifted up the ground there, but yeah, we'll move in this direction. Wherever that tower is. There it is. I'm like, where in the world is it? Alright. And we can go ahead and turn off all this stuff. And that. And that. And there we go. All right, so here we are. Welcome to Moline, Illinois, Quad City International. It's called Quad City because there are actually 4 cities in this area. So if you want to learn more about it, go check out the X-Plane version of this video, the X-Plane 11 version, because I do a documentary of where we land as far as driving into town and checking things out. So yeah, check out the X-Plane version, and be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so that way you know when new videos are being uploaded to the channel, because I do something every day. I have tons of simulators on the channel, if you may have already noticed that. But I have other things on the channel as well. And then Twitch is a thing. Head over to Twitch, twitch.tv/KillerGamer. You can follow me there. You should follow me there, and you'll get notified when I go online. And some of these episodes I actually stream as I'm recording them. This one, I'm not. I kind of get a feel for what people like and what people don't like as far as seeing things live. So I kind of dab a little here and there. But be sure to, if you follow me, then you'll know when it is that I go online and what I happen to be going online with. And if you catch me at that time, you get to interact with me and chat, and we get to hang out, and we'll fly together, and you'll actually will be part of the episode. I mean, come on, that's cool. So be sure to do that, and then follow me over on social media, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat, just for some behind the scenes and official announcements and just fun stuff. But anyways, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. I will see you on the next leg of our journey. Have a killer awesome day.